Hey guys, and welcome back to the Outlook Industries podcast. I'm your host, Trevor Johnson. We are here again at the studio bringing you some more fire podcasts. But today I have a very special guest and somebody different, not quite the whole scooter industry that you're used to. So today I have James Carter. He is a professional FMX rider. He's ridden in Nitro Circus, and he has a variety of other shows that he performs for all around the world. He's just a really cool guy, really inspirational, has a lot to say, and he's just a really good role model for a lot of people. So I'm really excited to show you guys this podcast. Also, podcast is up on anywhere you find podcasts. Please, if you haven't already, follow me on Apple Podcasts and give me 5 stars. That really helps the podcast grow, and it'd just be awesome if you could do that. Also, leave a comment for who you'd like to see on the podcast next and what you like and what you don't like about the podcast. This one was all done in the studio, so the video on YouTube should be better for this one. And yeah, it's going to be a great learning experience for all of us. I learned a lot, so I'm really excited for you guys to hear this one. Let's get right into the podcast.
It's the Outlook Podcast. We're here at the Outlook Podcast. Just we're here. We're talking to cool people.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Outlook Industries podcast. I'm here with James Carter. He is a professional FMX rider and a really cool guy, and I'm excited to talk to him. Welcome, James.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. What all do you do from your words?
So, with freestyle motocross, jump a dirt bike and jump over 70 feet and about 30 feet high, doing tricks, doing shows around the world.
Nice. Awesome. How long have you been riding?
Let's see. Started riding whenever I was 10 years old on a little PW50 and moved up from there onto bigger bikes, of course, and then professionally now since 2008.
Oh, nice.
So kind of started jumping a ramp 2007 and got hurt that year. So I wasn't really, of course, focused on it, but I was trying to do it. That's what I always wanted to do. So 2008, I got offered some shows in North Dakota, Canada, all around the northern U.S. So was told pretty much get a passport and we would move on.
Awesome. Who are your sponsors and how does that really work to get those sponsors?
So right now with sponsors, I have Monument Health, which is a amazing company, and they've been actually sponsoring the Deadwood show that I put on in Deadwood, and they came to me about a personal sponsorship. So Monument Health Sports Institute here in Rapid City, Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort up in Deadwood. We have Parts Unlimited, Pure Canna CBD. Trying to think, it's mostly with Parts Unlimited. That's where we get our Thor gear, helmets, boots, pretty much the whole kit. A graphics company out of Canada, which is M7 Graphics. Those are mostly the main ones right there.
Yeah, how did it go? Who was your first sponsor, and how did that whole thing work? And I don't really know the FMX world, so I'm really interested in how that kind of all plays out.
Trying to figure out sponsors at the time of when I just started, it was of course super tough, and gosh, there was websites where you would log into it and you can kind of create an account. And at that time, I just thought that was always, we're not, of course, we love discounted items, but I wanted more than that. I thought that if I could reach out to companies in my own way, then I would feel better and I would get a better deal. So I kind of started trying to figure out ways of creating a marketing deck and get it sent over to motorcycle companies at the time. But the first sponsor started actually here in Rapid City, which was MX Connection. And Gage over there did my first show there, and he was helping me out quite a bit. So I was kind of able to see his reaction on what I was creating and him saying, we've never really seen this from riders. So, I kept trying to just create better marketing decks, which would kind of describe who I was, the shows I was doing, where I was going. I feel like that's always a huge thing, almost, a resume for going to a job or a business or any of that. You need that type of deal so somebody can see who you are. So I created that, and I just kept figuring out a little more each year. And whenever it comes to action sports, I feel companies are looking for the following year by September, October. So I was always, trying to get that done by September, October, and search for more sponsors, same sponsors. And if something didn't work out that year, then of course switch it up.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. I've always, like, you spend most of your time upside down. You're doing backflips and all sorts of that kind of stuff. How did the process of learning your first backflip go? I could imagine it'd be like the scariest thing you've ever done. So
I wasn't forced to do it, but I was told that if I didn't start doing backflips during events, since so many people were doing it at the time, which was 2010. I should have wrote all this down just so I knew timelines. But of course, time flies by, and you lose track of what year it was or any of that. 2010, I started. Went to a foam pit, which was down in Oklahoma City, what was it? Right out Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Oh, gotcha.
Kenny Bartram's house.
Oh, okay.
And pretty much, was told I have almost a day to try to learn it. So myself and Derek Cook, who is from Oklahoma as well, went to the foam pit. Super scary, not fun at all.
Yeah.
The first day I couldn't get it figured out on rotating all the way. So I had in my mind that I was so worried about landing upside down that all I was doing was landing upside down, which that mental mindset of trying to switch it was tough. So I kept landing upside down. Finally, the last one of the night, I upside down, was stuck in the foam pit, nobody to help grab me out of there, which on a bike and you're jumping that high into that, you really get stuck down in there. So Derek was in the skid steer with the lift on it, trying to get me to grab the rope as I'm buried. Gas is pouring on me. Scariest thing ever, because of course those things can catch on fire super easy as well. So I finally was able to get out. I pulled something in my neck, and but I was like, well, I'm gonna have to come back the next day anyway. So try to really, like, that night, get my mindset to say, okay, I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to land upright every single time. And the next day came back and pretty much, landed every single one upright. And there was a dirt landing right around the corner. So I was able to jump in the foam pit, go around, jump the dirt landing. So I would, flip in the foam pit, straight jump the dirt landing. And finally, probably close to sundown, spending a good 10 hours in the foam pit. The guys were pretty much telling me, Kenny Bartram, all of them were saying, now you're just wasting gas jumping in the foam pit. So I finally pulled it and said, you know what, I'm just going to flip into the foam pit once, turn my gas back on, turn and flip the dirt jump the ramp to dirt. And pulled off the first one, and best feeling in the world. And was awesome at that time. And since then I have not jumped in a foam pit. So
there you go.
It was not, they look fun, BMX, scooters, that type of stuff, funnest thing ever. But on a dirt bike that weighs 250 pounds and gas is pouring out, and you're worried about something catching on fire, and just kind of,
because you've been flipping like dirt jumpers and BMX bikes for a while, haven't you?
I never did end up doing it, and I actually was on Nitro 2013, and we were in Australia, and our wheelie actually got us all scooters, and I actually had that plus a BMX bike I bought over there. So I was there for 3 months, and there was a skate park not too far. So during the week when we had time off, we would go to the skate park, and I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to want to flip a scooter and a BMX bike. So
Yeah.
kept doing it. And we finally went to the Resi Met and landed the first one. And it's so much different going from a big bike and flipping a BMX bike, because
Yep.
the big bike, you're leaning with it, and of course you have the gas to pull you around, to where BMX bike was you're not leaning onto your back wheel like a dirt bike. So
No.
completely different, but best.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things to go and do is ride BMX bikes. So
Yeah.
and got to flip the scooter, which was
Yeah.
always super cool too. But I think flipping the scooter is the hardest thing out of all of them. So
It's like you have to purposely like under rotate so that you don't loop out.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I know, and that's what I feel like we kept doing, a few of us, where we would almost like over rotate super easy, and then if you landed on the back wheel, of course you're gonna it's gonna go out from underneath you.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was actually like cool to learn. And every time into the foam pit at first, my feet were flying off of the scooter. So
yeah.
of course you're just letting
Yep.
it kind of fly up above you. But yeah, it all worked out super well. And
Cool.
I mean, still to this day, I feel like those are anything with two wheels, I'm all about it.
Yep, exactly. So back to the FMX bike, like, do you shift midair while you're doing a flip?
Nope. So
Okay.
always with FMX, well, not always, but most of the time at a 75-foot gap, which is the normal standard for any type of demo show.
Yeah.
There are guys that ride it closer, and but 70 to 75 feet at an event is always second gear. There were times where like no-handed flips and certain flip tricks, you would hook under the shifter and
Yeah.
shift into third upside down.
Yeah.
But then you're not going at the ramp in third gear. I think a couple guys still shift down to first and then click up and keep their foot under the shifter and
Yeah.
go at the ramp that way. But I've never been a fan of that. So I actually have a special device on the bike that I just kick up, and it actually holds my foot in there instead of trying to shift or anything.
Okay.
And then you're not putting so much pressure on that shifter itself. So
Yeah. What's your favorite trick now?
I almost want to say still to this day would be a holy grab, and it's letting go of the bike completely. And I think that's just a cool feeling. And when you see it in video or photos or anything, it's always crazy to think that you can let go of a bike completely and fly through the air almost like Superman and grab back on last second and get back to the bars.
Those tricks are crazy. I've always seen them. It's kind of like a rock solid, and then you let go. Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's rock solid where you can either ladder back to the back of the seat and then let go from there, or you let go of the bars, which would be a holy grab, and kind of stretch your arms out and then grab back onto the back of the seat.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. We'll
Sweet.
have to add some video to it.
Yeah,
so we
right.
can,
Yeah,
show the
I'll
difference.
throw some video in. Talk about your Deadwood All In Show.
Yeah, so Deadwood All In is a freestyle motocross show. We bring in about 10 FMX guys, 2 snowmobiles. Last year we had a Razor side-by-side flip. The year before that we had front flip. We try to go all out with this thing and make it the coolest show around. And, I was kind of reached out to after we did a show here in Rapid City, which was a Nitro Circus show. And the city of Deadwood reached out to me and asked if I would put on a show up in Deadwood. I was hesitant because I'm not a promoter really on that part of it. So I was like, well, kind of pushed it to the side and didn't think anything of it. Well, they came back to me and asked if I wanted to still try to do anything. So, we came up with a plan for Deadwood All In. Brought in all these guys from around the world, and we created I want to say one of the best shows in the Midwest. And I don't think anybody else besides Nitro Circus is really doing a show like this. So I feel like that, of course, is a big advantage. And this year we're shooting for June 5th in Deadwood, and normally we're a different time of the year, so this is going to be the first time at the start of the year.
Yeah.
So yeah, June 5th, we're going to have this, which I've been wanting to do for years now, is we have BMX riders, hopefully you on your scooter.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be one of the biggest things is Cody and yourself there, and being from Rapid City area is, that's going to be huge. So, we're bringing in BMX. I want to say we have 11 FMX guys right now, a snowmobile. We're having Blake Bilko Williams from Australia, Jared McNeil from Australia, Wanky from Japan, Jeremy Twitchtenberg, Axel Hodges. This is, I want to say, is going to be a whole nother level. It's almost trying to put this show all together is like trying to figure out, okay, who is going to be the one to take care of everyone and make sure everything's lined up. So as of right now, I'm getting a full show plan together, and pretty much the 3 months before the show, that's what I just focus on is try to put this all together and make sure everyone's happy.
Well, I'm sure from competing, or not competing, but being in the Nitro Circus show, you kind of saw some of that from a different perspective as like the athlete's perspective. How are things different in like being the one who kind of puts it together? Like, what have you noticed in that kind of respect?
It definitely makes me respect promoters a lot more. And whenever you see the whole behind the scenes, which I would love to show people one day, there's quite a bit of stress. The reward is awesome, of course, but trying to run around day of and days before of getting everything lined up and just making sure that you never want to disappoint the riders. You want to make it as easy as possible. And so now that I see that side of it, I'm like, man, you got Nitro Circus, which is probably a good $1 million show that's all put together. Their landings are built the best as possible, and they're doing it not only in one place but around the world, to where Deadwood All In, we're just doing it in one spot. So I would love one day, I think, to take it to other places, but as of right now, we just want to stick to the Deadwood area and get people to come check out what the Black Hills is all about. And that's our main focus, of course, is let's get all these people that have never been to South Dakota. And I think we got on the map pretty good this year with all of COVID stuff. But I think, last year bringing in Taka from Japan, he was never really traveled around the U.S. to see places like this. So he got to come up here and experience what it was like. And he just loved it. He couldn't believe it. He's like, I've never seen anything like this. And then, the year before that, I had Black Hills Harley give us about 10 Harleys and took all these guys on a Harley ride through the Black Hills and up to Mount Rushmore. So that was always, I feel like, kind of a goal to show like, okay, this is what South Dakota is. Because anytime I tell someone I'm from South Dakota, they're like, wait, South Carolina where's that at? Or they start naming different places. So it's cool to have everyone here. And I think as time goes, that this show is just going to get bigger and better. Yeah.
You're from California originally, right?
Yes. Yep.
So you've lived here for a while and you came back here after traveling all these different places. Why did you choose to stay here?
I moved to South Dakota when I was about 13, 14 years old. Of course, growing up in Southern California, that's the place that you go to ride pretty much. And that's when you talk about dirt bikes, everybody thinks Southern California. But it honestly was the best thing that I think my parents ever did for us. And if it wasn't for moving here, I don't think I would be where I am today. And, there's so much to that on the thinking because you're going to South Dakota, not knowing anyone. Maybe nobody even knows about dirt bikes up there was the first thought as a kid. And, but it's been the best thing. And that's what, I wanted to go back to California just to keep on riding, at the age about 17, 18. And then, I was always back and forth from there to here. And then 2015, I just said, you know what, I think I'm ready to just move back. I wasn't going to until I was completely done with riding.
Oh, gotcha.
But I just felt like I was renting a house in California. It was crazy expensive. I was hardly ever there. So it was pretty much like renting a house to store everything and traveling every weekend, constantly gone. And I felt like I was missing out on things up here. And so 2015, I just honestly dropped everything pretty much, packed everything up in California and left. And I came back home and bought a house. Finally got a riding spot figured out at a friend's house in Whitewood. And just, felt like I could create what I was doing down there and create it here. And riding never slowed down. I just feel like the practicing is what slowed down. So I get to practice as much as I want to in the summertime. Once winter hits, I just kind of, go back down to California or go somewhere where it's nice out.
Yeah. Well, being more into the action sports industry than I am, I'm wondering what your opinion is on the future of action sports and where you see action sports in the next 10 years.
I mean, action sports is always going to be around. I think it's going to be, I feel like it's even grown more and more because of the social media side of things. Yep. I wonder still quite a bit actually on contests and especially after this last year with the whole pandemic is to see what exactly is going to happen with X Games and any type of bigger contest. I think they're still going to do it. It might be a little bit more minimum on things. And as you can see with the Olympics, I think they did add BMX racing to the Olympics, right? And
I'm pretty sure they did.
So I feel like it's going to keep growing. I just feel like social media, YouTube, and those type of things are going to be where the action sports is at more. Yeah. But I mean, seeing whenever we do a show in Deadwood, people go crazy about it. And we had a crowd of about 3,000 people. And this was 2020 that we had a crowd that big.
Yeah.
And, of course, it was, everybody was blown away. But, I just feel like action sports is going to stick around. It's not going anywhere. It's just how it will go down the road is the way I feel is, more content. People are going to keep posting. And, I mean, I follow so many action sport athletes, guys that I don't know, from skateboarding to scooters to, pretty much anything. Snowboarding, it just, if I see those things from a whole different standpoint, then I feel like, it's going to, everybody's going to keep following it.
Yeah. Awesome. Have you been in X Games? Have you competed?
I have not.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like maybe the year I had the chance was the year I got hurt at Red Bull X Fighters, and that was the year that I was like, oh, I'm on top of my game. Yeah. Like I had sponsored, or people were reaching out to me on sponsors, and then I got an invite to Red Bull X Fighters, and normally once you get the invite to Red Bull X Fighters, it kind of keeps going up from there. And I got hurt at Red Bull X Fighters, and I felt like I kind of lost that chance there. And of course, I love X Games, and I think there's still a chance if they don't, change any of that part of it with FMX at least. Yeah. But hopefully one day still, and I'll still chase after it no matter what. But until then, I just feel like, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm sure with FMX, basically anytime you don't land, you're getting injured. So what are your worst injuries? Yeah, with FMX, it's of course you're falling from 30 feet or higher, and I would say the worst one was at Red Bull X Fighters when I broke my femur, 2012. I was in Dubai, so broken femur over there. All I had with me was a friend, mechanic, helping me with the bike. Good thing it was a Red Bull event to be able to help out more on that and know that we were safe no matter what. But I was in a hospital over there for about a week, surgery there, came home, back to California at that time. And then, was it closer to, by the time I was going to be healed up, which I tried to rush everything as fast as possible. Yeah. We had a show in Sturgis at that same year. So April 2012, I broke femur. I said I was going to ride the show during the rally in August. I fully switched bikes from a 250 two-stroke to a 450. So I never even really rode the bike. I couldn't even kickstart it at the time. So I was starting it with my hand, went out and rode the show, and everything was good. And all of a sudden I just got super confident and probably over the limit. And last jump of the night, didn't even have to jump or anything. I thought, I'll be fine. I'll just try the trick that I was doing before I got hurt, and tried it. Ended up breaking tib and fib, same leg, straight to the emergency room, surgery again, same leg. So yeah, back-to-back injuries, 2012. That was a pretty tough one to try to overcome. And
yeah, it's got to be rough in the head.
Yeah. The mental mindset was insane, tough. And it was so many different things happened that year too. So it went from a friend passing away at a show right in front of me to winning a contest in Costa Rica, which then got me the invite to Red Bull X Fighters, to getting hurt and then thinking, okay, I overcame all that, so now I'll be fine, and then getting hurt again. It was just like crazy dreams. And
can I catch a break?
Yeah, it was. I'm like, how does this even work? Like, how can a body even handle all this? But yeah, it ended up still. I read a book actually, Mind Gym, which was the coolest book, and it actually helped a ton, I feel like. And my manager at that time was the one that recommended that to me. And so yeah, if any athlete goes through an issue, it's like, read that book, because that was a huge deal in that. And but out of all those injuries, I feel like my shoulder is still the worst one. Haven't had surgery on it yet, but the dislocation of it, it just, constantly irritating me. And it's kind of just became a daily routine of it. So
yeah, I've had some shoulder problems as well. And it just kind of like randomly will dislocate and just is really annoying. Does it do it to you like midair?
Yep. So I didn't crash or anything, and it dislocated. And then now it's just paying attention. I don't do certain things that I was doing. So now, and then I thought it was all good, and then it came out again, and then again thought it was all right, and kept popping out. So now it's like, if I'm not constantly trying to keep the muscles as strong as possible, then it just pops out.
Yep. So you just had a daughter, correct?
Yes.
Not that long ago?
Yeah. May 29th of 2020. And so actually this whole last year was a great opportunity to be home, to where 2020 was going to be the busiest year that I think I would have ever had. Yeah. And right before that, so as my wife was pregnant, from December 8th until January 8th, I was in Abu Dhabi for a full month. Yeah. Came home, we found out that, we knew she was pregnant at the time, but we didn't know boy or girl. And then, we found out actually January 8th that we were going to have a girl. And then, she was born May 29th. And crazy time with everything going on, just not knowing at that time. But she's amazing. And gosh, makes it so much harder to leave now. And super lucky, and good thing for my wife to be home and know that, everything's good whenever I go and do shows.
Yeah. I just think for new parents or people who are thinking about having their first kid, what kind of challenges have you faced, and how has it kind of changed your mindset? And it's just, having a kid is a big milestone. So how has it kind of changed you?
Yeah, I feel like, of course it's going to be, I knew it would be tough, and I think everybody knows that. I don't really sleep that much anyways. I feel like I do just fine with less sleep, but of course need it here and there. But at the same time, I think with riding and constantly being gone, that has made it a little bit more tough on the timing of things. If my wife has to work, and she owns a salon, her and her sister own a salon here in Rapids. So her managing and owning a business at the same time that I'm trying to run and do these things, and trying to, during the whole pandemic, is trying to find a babysitter or any of that was of course tough. But hands down to anybody that has more than one kid, because it is insane on, it's not just set them down and go do something. So it's, constantly planning, which is all good. But, communicating with my wife on how we're going to do it and who's going to do what. So that's been a crazy, deal with it. But as she's getting older, it's hands down best thing ever. And
Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait until she's able to come with me to shows or go out with me to go and ride and get to see more of that. And I'm like, no 2 wheels, but she already loves her Strider bike. And
Yep.
I'm like, it's going to stay in the family no matter what.
Yeah.
So,
Well, with you doing it all the time, she's going to look up to
yeah.
you. So
Yeah. And I feel like she already knows like what to do without even showing her on a bicycle. So
yeah.
maybe she'll just build them and love them. And
Yeah.
that's it.
Oh, boy.
We'll get her some golf clubs or we'll talk to your sister about singing lessons. So,
Yeah. Right. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
As of right now, I think riding, I said I was going to be done by the time I'm 30. Well, I'm 31 now.
Yep.
I said I thought maybe things would slow down for shows, and then it seemed like it picked up. So it's hard to say exactly what I'll do with riding. Of course, it's always going to be here, and I always want to do it. But
Yeah.
more for I want to be able to pick and choose when I'm going to go do a show, which shows I will go do. And that's kind of how it is right now. And we're in the process of opening up a pretty big storage facility here in Rapid City. And that has taken, quite a bit of time to do that. And that's going to be managing that and being there pretty much all the time. It's going to seem like that at least.
Yeah.
But I think that's, in with that in the works is build that business, kind of get it up and running, have someone there that's going to manage that we can, rely on that part of it. And then, I feel like have quite a bit of business plans in the works. And there's one that I've worked on since that year I did get hurt in 2012. So it's just, the timing of it all. And, but riding's not going to be the thing that's going to be forever as much as I do love it. And I wish it could be that way, but I would like to be home more. And now having a daughter and that part of it, I think, is just creating a business and trying to work more with, the Rapid City Black Hills area.
Awesome. Yeah. That kind of brings me to my next question, which is what should we be looking for from you?
I mean, I pretty much am going to try to focus on creating a little bit more of a race type series here in South Dakota, which would be up in Deadwood. And we're actually doing one September 11th, almost as our, that's going to be the first one.
Nice.
So we'll have the freestyle show in June and then a motocross race in September. And we're going to kind of see how that goes to where if we could kind of create a points type deal in Deadwood, do it twice a year, 2-day event. And then from there, if we could bring it down to the Civic Center and just kind of create more of a place for kids to race. And we don't have the best riding spots, I feel like. We definitely need it. So hopefully, that's the thing is I love action sports. So anything that has to do with action sports, I'm committing fully to that. And that's what I want to still chase after. I would love to promote shows elsewhere that I kind of have a plan for, but it's not a full, because it's still going to be traveling. So I love the traveling part, but if wife and daughter can't come to it, that's what makes it tough. So, but there are some plans with that. And I kind of, hopefully I'll get something figured out that I've been working on for a long time. And I think that's where like guys like you and Cody and the whole action sports community in Rapid City come together and create something that's going to be the best for our area.
That would be that's the goal. So hopefully we can get something going.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I feel like it's needed so bad.
Oh, it
here.
is. Yeah, it's needed so bad. There's just not enough of it.
Yeah.
What would you tell yourself at 20 when you were 20, or what would you tell 20-year-olds getting into FMX?
So I've learned so much over the last 5 years that it's been insane. That I try to tell this to my little nephews who are 14 and 11, maybe even 14 and 12. But it's like things I wish I would have known, of course, and things all work out for a reason. But I was making such good money with riding freestyle motocross. And I think it's just like any sport, any
Yeah.
football player, they make money, and then they I never grew up around that part of it to know about investing or 2000, what was it, 8, 9, whenever the whole everything went way downhill, houses were for sale.
Yeah.
I wish at that time would have known about rental properties
Yep.
or any of that, which I think that's a huge key. I didn't learn that in school, and nobody really brought that up even about like to invest your money or not really to save it, but to put it towards your retirement or Roth IRA, those type of deals.
Yeah.
And now, of course, having business partners on this storage facility, I see these numbers that are just crazy to know of.
Yeah.
And I don't really say anything because I don't know, but I'm just watching how it kind of goes together.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel as an athlete, you could practice all the time and focus on that, but also focus on what you would also create for your future type deal. And that's what I think is a big thing. And I think kids need it, and more teenagers than anything, is to kind of know on that. There was a book that someone, my father-in-law, gave me, which was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I don't know if you've ever read that.
I haven't read it, no.
It's amazing because it really explains like so much about life and what you're kind of investing in type deal. And so now knowing that, it's like, if I could push this down the line of saying, hey, ride and do what you want to do, but also try to do this. And also know that if there's an opportunity, to chase after it, because the last 10 years has flown by. And I think so many people say that time starts going quicker and quicker, and that's for sure. So I'm all about like chasing after that opportunity. If you want to do something, just do it.
Do it.
Yeah, it's 100% worth it. And you'll never be upset. And the whole thinking about regretting something is not the best feeling. So it's like, just get out, do it, figure out what it's going to take, and create what you want to create, and bring it to life.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is like, if you can't be afraid of failure, because if you're afraid of failure, then you won't try. If you fail, like, you go on to the next thing, like whatever.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah.
Do you have any rental properties?
We actually do right now. We have one. I did have one in this area as well that I sold last year. So I rented that out for 3 years, sold it. This one we have now, we're renting out. It's a duplex. And then we'll probably end up selling that here within the next couple months, kind of the plan. And then I've always been a huge fan of commercial buildings.
Yep.
So that's hopefully the next step is we love the rental properties and we think that it's great, but we also want to try to go more into commercial style buildings and kind of a bigger building. And I think that's, again, something that's in the works, and I think it's all going to work out. And, but there's so much to still learn, I feel like, with it. But, the commercial industry, I feel like, is so cool to see. And, I'm a huge fan of it. So, so we'll still be in the rental business, but kind of more, focused on commercial style.
Yeah. How did you go about getting started in that? Because I'm really interested in getting started on like learning about how to get rental properties and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's where that Rich Dad Poor Dad book, I feel like they explain so much to it, and it makes you really understand. That guy that wrote the book, actually, I forgot how many rental houses he has, but at the time of the whole 2008, 2009, when everything was super low, he went and bought all these houses in Arizona. I want to say Arizona was like his main spot, but
gotcha.
So many rental properties. And I'm like, man, why didn't someone recommend this back then? But I feel like I kind of came about it whenever I bought my house here in 2015. Yeah. I don't know a ton about the industry, but learning it from family and friends that do have quite a bit of rental properties, and seeing that is, they kind of, even someone told me about the BRRRR strategy, which was like buy, renovate, refinance, and there's something else to it, but there's a whole podcast on that as well. Yeah. And that's what I almost feel like I did with my house that I bought. Is I bought it, fixed it all up, lived in it for a while, and then I rented it out for a couple of years, and then I sold it.
Nice.
And it all worked out. Of course, with the market going up like crazy, it's kind of a little bit tougher to jump on something because people have cash offers and they're offering more than what people are even putting their houses up for. So,
right now it's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the other thing is I just feel like there's so much out there to know about it that so many people are talking about it now. And there's a Bigger Pockets podcast, which they explain a ton on rental properties. And that's kind of how the storage unit deal came up is we were talking about it. And then a family member had property. And so, buying that property from them and then, going to create that to kind of be more in that industry as well. So, we have a ton of storage units in Rapid City area, but it should still do pretty good. And
lots of people have lots of stuff around here.
I mean, I pay for a storage unit, which a classic car that needs to be restored is sitting in there. And I've had it for 4 years now. And I'm like, why do I have that again? And it's like, oh, well, I don't have time to move everything out of it. So, but I feel like, there's so much to learn. I can't, don't know all the advice on rental properties. And it's just, there is a spreadsheet type deal to know if your return of investment is going to be good on it. And that's kind of what was recommended to us on it. So, it's another one of those things. You just got to chase after it and get to it before that other person does.
Do you have any other investments that you like to look at? Stocks or crypto or anything on those lines? I
mean, I kind of look at the crypto side of things only because it was brought up and it became so big, it seems like, but it's not something that I have done. And I just like to see it almost because it's like a gamble on those type of deals. I actually did just start, met with a guy here in Rapid City who got me a investment account opened up and we started that. So I don't know a ton about it. There's so much to learn again. And and those are things that I wish I would have known at that younger age to be like, oh, I should have put into this. And of course, like he told me is like, when's the best time to invest? And he said, when you're thinking about it and when you have the money to do it. So it's like, man, why don't they tell this to people so much sooner? So, it's like talking to him, knowing, but I see things. I'm like, I look at the stock deal on your phone whenever you swipe over and you see it and you're like, well, I think it's doing good. It's in the green.
Yeah, right. So, exactly.
But I don't understand enough about it to say, oh, I'm going to go and invest in this or invest in that type deal. So, but in the, trying to learn all these things at once, it definitely.
There's a lot there's a lot out there. Man. The more you learn, the more you know you don't know.
He even said it. He told me, he's like, you could watch the stock market if you want and see what it's going to do. But what are you going to, like, you don't want to really pull out of it just because you think it's going downhill or any of that. So, like I told him, I'm in it for the long run, and I don't think I don't get nervous about things like I feel some people do on like thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to pull out right now to try to make sure I'm good and safe. So I'm all about taking the risky side of things, and we'll just see what happens. And
Well, I have one more question for you. And what is your meaning of life and what makes you click?
My meaning of life, gosh.
Yeah, I got to go deep for the last one.
My meaning of life is, live life to the fullest. And if, like we were saying, is if you're going to take a risk, just do it and just know, like, the mental mindset is the biggest part of anything in action sports and any type of business is, and if you can create that team to be a part of it as well, that's going to be a big plus. And, keeping that mental mindset straight, knowing that things are going to work out no matter what. Don't let yourself feel down or out just because something didn't work out. And I feel like you hear so many times from other podcasts or other people talking about it is how many times were some of these massive companies told no that, it's like, shoot, I'm just going to, risk it all and see what happens instead of not risking it. So, yeah, I'd say live it up and go after what you want and just do it.
Awesome.
So, and what was the other one to that?
I said what makes you click?
Yeah, man.
What? Here's one more actually. What kind of did you do before you kind of found some traction in FMX?
I mean, I was kind of all over the place. So I actually dropped out of high school and wanted to chase after the dream of being a freestyle motocross rider. And that's where I feel like the visual mindset of, as a kid, my whole room and everything was filled of posters of pretty much all these guys I ride with now. And so that's where I think like, I said I wasn't going to stop until I got there to where I wanted to be. And I feel like that I worked so many different jobs trying to just make sure that I was still going to be able to ride. And just tried different things. And, those weren't lifetime careers, I felt like, to where, I wanted to say, take the chance and go ride. So, and BMX riding growing up, that was like, I thought, if I don't ride dirt bikes, I'll ride BMX. But before that was baseball, and I thought I was going to be a baseball player. And then I got a dirt bike and BMX bike, and it all changed from there.
And you're like, okay, I found it.
Yeah. So, anything action sports, I feel like that is like my connection to it all is just seeing it in kids and anyone that does it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, where can we find you on social media?
Carter FMX on Instagram, Carter FMX on Facebook, YouTube, Carter FMX. We're just trying to get that built up now. So, in the works of it. But
awesome.
Any social media, Carter FMX is what I've gone with for the last few years.
Where do we follow the Deadwood All In show?
Deadwood All In on Instagram, Deadwood Moto on there, Deadwood Freestyle on Facebook, and then that's all connected to my YouTube as well, and we'll be posting more on that as time comes, and deadwoodallin.com to get tickets or anything for that.
Awesome.
June 5th.
Sweet. Well, thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule. I know you got a lot going on.
Yeah, all good. No, this is awesome. You're creating some super cool stuff. So
sweet. Thank you.
Excited.
Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you, James.
Thanks.